You are on the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick, and I'm a top author on TradingView, and in today's video, we will be breaking down a pair both from a technical and an order flow perspective to understand where are the best probabilities for a trading opportunity on the pair to obviously be capitalizing on it. So the video will be both very educational and practical, so without further ado, let's get straight in it. Okay, so it's definitely time that I speak about XRP as well. I see all these XRP prediction videos coming out, but everybody's like shouting out some crazy numbers, nothing really rational and that actually makes sense. I had spoken about really before this move to the upside on XRP, I had spoken about XRP USD, explaining why we wanted to see this move to the upside. And obviously, yes, all the flare news, etc. did help a lot the move, but everything was already aligning perfectly from a pattern and a obviously structure perspective for this move to the upside. As usual, fundamentals and technicals move together. Okay, they're not two separate things. They are two separate things, but they move together. I had spoken about XRP USD when the market was exactly here before the 200 plus increase, a 200% plus increase in value, okay? And there were all the technicals aligning for this move to the upside. But at the moment, it's time to make an update on that analysis, which, by the way, I will obviously link in description. And it's time to understand what we currently have and how we can be looking for the next opportunity in this market. Now, starting here from the monthly time frame, what do we have? Now, from a monthly perspective, we have a market which had created this W formation. Now, generally speaking, after a W formation, what you want to see is the market create a move to the downside to go and complete the pattern at the neckline. So exactly at the previous resistance, now turn support, before creating the continuation to the upside. That is exactly what you expect most of the times after a W formation. And in fact, that is exactly what XRP USD did. From here, the market created this move to the downside, completing the pattern exactly as we wanted to see, and then created the massive spike to the upside, which was obviously fueled by all the fear of missing out that people had when the move was developing. Everybody obviously started buying. Now, if we identify exactly the previous resistance, now turn support, we will identify it exactly here because this is exactly the previous resistance, now turn support, which the market was testing. And there is one very important thing to notice. After an impulse, if you want to measure the correction, what you have to do is take your Fibonacci exactly from the low to the high of the impulse. And what we can see, what we could see and what we can see is that the market has retraced exactly to the 0.618 of the Fibonacci taken on the monthly impulse. So on the monthly, we were testing exactly a very strong confluence of support area from which we definitely expected the market to create a move to the upside, as we had already spoken about in our previous video. And now the market has created another massive move to the upside. And after an impulse, as usual, you expect a correction. And we will now speak about this correction even more in detail going down on the weekly time frame. In fact, if we go down on the weekly, what we can see. Now, the first thing that we can see and that we could see is that the market was creating a very strong accumulation phase. And after this accumulation phase, what we expected was the market to create a move to the upside. In fact, I made a full breakdown of XRP USD exactly when it was here, explaining all the reasons for which from here we wanted to see the market create this move to the upside after this accumulation phase. And I will link this previous analysis in description. You find it below. You can go and check it out for further reference and more free education. And now that the market has created the move to the upside that we wanted to see, what we can expect next for this market. Now, after you have a move to the upside, specifically such a strong impulse, you do expect a deeper retracement before the continuation to the upside. And what we can see is that this candle here, which is the current weekly candle in which we are trading in, is about to create a very interesting pattern. If this candle will close with this shape in 3 days and 12 hours, what we can expect is for the next weekly candle to fill in the wick, When you see a candle which has a red body and a wick which is the same size, or even better, it is bigger than the body of the candle, you expect the next candle to fill in the wick. This is a pattern that happens over and over again, specifically from a weekly perspective. So on the weekly, we can expect the next candle to fill in this wick. If in 3 days and 12 hours, this weekly candle will close with this shape. So on the weekly, the situation is quite clear. Going down on the daily, what do we see? Just a quick reminder, make sure you comment below and you let me know which pairs or topics you would like me to cover or analyze in the next videos. Now on the daily, this was actually precisely when I spoke about XRP USD. After this impulse here in this correction, when the market was here, this is where I made the breakdown explaining why we wanted to see this move to the upside. But now what we can see, now that the move to the upside has already happened, what we are seeing is a market that is starting to consolidate inside of this triangle formation, which is usually what the market does when there is uncertainty. So when the market is still not clear on which direction it should take. Now, this makes a lot of sense because we still don't know how, after the 12th of December, how the market will react to the flare news, etc. So did people buy XRP just to get free tokens, or are people actually interested in XRP in the long term? Now, me personally, I'm more interested in the long term, okay? I am in this market from the accumulation zone that the market was creating from a weekly perspective because it was a perfect buying zone, okay? It was perfect. Technicals were perfect. Fundamentals were perfect. Everything was looking great for the move to the upside, and it was a very cheap price. So I have quite massive position from here, but not from a trading perspective, from an investing perspective. The trading perspective was after this impulse and correction. That is where an opportunity from a trading perspective was actually possible. Now, at the moment, as I was saying, we have created this horizontal consolidation phase. Now, after a horizontal consolidation phase, you can either get a break to the upside or to the downside. You don't know. So, as usual with trading, you have to be reactive, not predictive. Everybody that is saying XRP will go to $100, possible, very unlikely. But everything is possible in the market. However, there are a few things that must be clear. One thing that must be clear is that the market at this high has quite strong resistance, okay? The other thing that must be very clear is that the market at this area has quite strong support. And what is also clear is that from a weekly perspective, we have the candle, which the next one is supposed to fill in the wick. Therefore, what we do have from a trading perspective is an opportunity to be looking for a potential shorting opportunity after the news will be out. Why? Because we will see how the market will react, how the people that are involved in this market will react after the 12th of December. So if the market will manage to break below this area from a daily closing perspective, then all this previous daily support will be turned resistance here. And after the break on the retest of this structure, this is exactly where a shorting opportunity will be possible. So with students, after the break on the retest of this structure, what we will be doing? Now, as usual, monthly, weekly, and daily timeframes are the best timeframes for the direction of the market combined with the COT data. But the best timeframe for confirmations and entries, that is the 4 hours. So what we will be doing inside of here on the 4 hours. Now, before I show you that, let's go and see what we have from a COT perspective. Now on BTC, why BTC? Because it is the market leader, okay? So if you want information on what hedge funds are doing on BTC, you have to check in the crypto market in general, you have to check BTC. What we can see here is that overall, we have a lot of hedging, okay? Every time that they are closing some longs or closing shorts, they're always hedging. Most of the times you're seeing the same amount of longs and shorts getting closed. So there is no big edge that can be a hedge that can be taken from checking the commitment of traders on the BTC specifically, okay? When it comes to Forex, obviously, yes, but when it comes to BTC specifically, nothing very interesting that we can take from it. So what we will be doing with students is, as usual, being reactive and not predictive. If the market will break below the structure and create a daily close below the structure, after the break, this previous support will be turned resistance here. So inside of this area, we will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short. with a good risk to reward and good probabilities at that point for the move to the downside and completion of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside for a deeper retracement from the weekly impulse before the continuation to the upside. On the other side, until the market will remain inside of this range, there is nothing interesting. And if the market will break to the upside, I will show you an update on a XRP USD showing you where is the next opportunity for it. And obviously, I'm already in from an investing perspective, so simply in that case, I will just continue to hold the trade. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free analysis, education, and updates for all of you. You can also go and check out the mentorship program. You find the link in the description. It's a very complete program. You first learn all the rules of my rule-based strategies, and then you trade them live with me. Every single day you get a new daily market breakdown showing you exactly how to apply the strategies with entries, stops, take profits, as well as having me answering all your questions every single day. So I really suggest that you go and check it out, and I will see you in. The link is in the description.